All right, it is 2017, and today on the 5-Minute Bark, we've got a very interesting guest here today who had actually reached out by email, and I said, we're going on live as soon as you can, and here we are today, a few days later. We've got Kerry Coombs here today from the United Kingdom, England, here today. So we're going to have a little accent to play with here today. It's going to be really fun, really exciting, and I want to tell you a little story of how she is on the show here today. She's become a fan of the 5-Minute Bark, which, you know, always feels good to know that there's people out there, because with a podcast or a YouTube show, you just don't know who's listening. Sometimes you get some comments here and there and messages here and there, but when they reach out, it kind of turns into something special. So we have her on the show here today, and she had watched several of our guests, including Christina Berkeley and Mark Mahwini, and recently Billy Joe Murphy on the show here today. And she said, you know what? I want to become big, bold, and fearless here in 2017. So a lot of us out there are trying to do that. A lot of us are trying to take 2017 and get something going, something really good. I think really, as I said in one of the podcasts before, there's something in the air about 2017 that's special. And this is not just the United States talking this, because she's in England. So she's feeling the same energy. She's feeling the same excitement. And she's now coming on the 5-Minute Bark podcast. She's being bold, she's being exciting, and she's being fearless. So let's welcome Kerry Coombs here today to the 5-Minute Bark podcast. Say hello, Kerry.
Hi, Dennis. Great to be here.
Isn't this great? It's fun,
brilliant.
Right?
It's brilliant. I don't think I've got an accent, but there you go.
Oh, you got a big old accent, and I love it. So it's going to be really fun. So, Kerry, why don't you Kerry, yes. Why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about how this all happened for you? Because I think it's kind of exciting for me. I'm feeling good about it, but it also is something that's kind of put you over the edge to kind of do this. I mean, you're taking charge of your life, and a lot of people out there want to take charge of their life. They want to come out and they want to be bold. Tell us about this.
Absolutely. So my mantra for this year is to be brave, bold, and fearless, which really scares me, but it's really exciting too. And last year I was listening to Christina Berkeley on your podcast, and something I've kind of really learned this last 6 months, to listen to my gut instinct. And when it tells me I need to do something, I do it. And it doesn't matter how scary it is. I just think, okay, do it, and let's find a way to make it happen. So I reached out to Christina, and it's the first time I've ever done that before, this big, scary, famous coach. And I'm now working with her. She's my coach, and it's awesome. And my coaching practice has transformed as a result, which is brilliant. And then on Friday, I was walking my dog, and I was listening to Billy Joe, and you were interviewing her. And I've kind of thought for a while, I'm going to reach out to you. And I thought, I couldn't possibly, what have I got to say to the world? And I had that feeling again, and I thought, oh no, I need to do it. So I came home and I recorded a 10-minute video, and I sent it to you. And within the kind of couple of hours later, you'd responded. And here I am. So it's really exciting. So being bold and brave.
Being bold and brave. So, you know, a lot of people just cannot hit record on something like that, to send some random person a video of you essentially opening up for 15 minutes, telling me all about what you're all about and what you want to do. Any advice you can give to somebody else, because there is other people out there that are in your situation, not necessarily just want to be on the 5-Minute Bark, although maybe, who knows, but other people that want to be big and bold and do something out there that's really, really exciting. I mean, you did it. That's the difference between there's one side that just never does it, and they get on the edge, and then you did it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, for many years I kind of played small, and I closed down my coaching practice a few years ago. And I know that I was playing small, and I was not reaching the clients that I really, really wanted to work with, the clients that really, really excited me. And I think, you know, we just have to make a decision, and we have to be committed to that decision, and we have to know why we're doing it. You know, what is it that excites you? What is it that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning, that fills you with desire and passion, and makes you feel truly, truly alive? Because so many people are living half lives. they're living kind of the thing that society says we should be doing, or we're living somebody else's dreams. You know, I've been there. I spent 15 years in the corporate world not living my dream. And, you know, I just felt that last year, it was really my year to shine and to really step into my unique personal power and to help other people to do the same. And that's really exciting that, you know, that we can control our destiny and we can take responsibility, but we have to make a choice and we have to decide and we have to take action, because otherwise nothing changes.
Right. And after you sent that video, you noticed you're on a different pedestal, so to speak, in your life, like a new step, a new place. And now you almost know you can't go back, right? You can't go back.
Yeah.
And obviously from press and record to now, you've just lit up like a fire here. You're showing up. You're in this. You're in this this interview right now, and it's a dramatic difference, and you're going to see it later on. But people out there, it's amazing what happens when you take action. And I love what you said. I'm done being little. You said something about I'm done playing. I'm done playing little, and that's so huge. I'm experiencing that right now in my life too. This show is ready to go to a new level. And you can play small, Dennis, or you can play big. And that's my choice. I have to step in, and I have to step up my interviews, and I have to make sure my guests are getting the best out of their interviews and making sure they shine, just like you do with your clients. And there's just a lot to be said here. And I'm really excited that we're having some great energy about this here today. And I want people out there to be able to step out of their comfort zone, shine, stop playing small. And
absolutely.
So awesome. So you are a coach, and I have now designated you, before we started this, as the miracle coach. Tell us why or how you make miracles in the world.
Okay, so when I'm out talking to, there are a lot of coaches out there, and when I'm out talking to people and they ask me what you do, I kind of say, I don't want to just say I'm a coach, because, it kind of tends to go over people's heads. So I tell them I'm in the business of miracles. I have deep, powerful conversations with clients, and miracles occur. Dreams that you had that seemed impossible happen, and they become a reality. And that's what happens to my clients. The things that they were such a distant dream away suddenly become close and suddenly become achievable. And it is just about taking action, being consistent, and breaking down those fears and barriers that we all have. I have them. That's why I've got a coach. And actually saying, do you know what? Anything is possible. All the miracles can occur. I just need to make it happen. There is always a way. And I'm just really, really excited about life, and really excited to help people, live their dreams and really create the life that they truly, truly want to be living, rather than what they think they should be living.
One of the biggest concerns out there people have is hiring a coach, and it's a big step, and it's a big payment, right? And I know hiring Christina Berkeley is not no small payment. She's very well paid and obviously well deserved. And how can you explain to people that, I guess actions speak louder than words, and you pay a coach as well, and obviously very well. How can you explain to people out there that are saying, all right, I'm ready to take action, I'm ready for that coach to come in my life? How do you explain to them that the payment, how do they get over that payment? How do they get over saying, Carrie, here's my check, I am ready to go? Yeah,
it's really interesting, because it's about, isn't it, stepping up into that space where you're feeling challenged yourself. So when I started to work with Christina, I couldn't afford her rates, but I had to find a way, because I knew that if I didn't step into what my gut was telling me, this sounds really dramatic, but it's so true. It felt like I was dying inside, that my dreams, my hopes, my aspirations, my goals were priceless. And if I was going to make it happen, I needed to invest in something that scared me, that pushed me, that challenged me, because this is about stepping up into a different world and about saying yes to life. I could have played small and I could have hired somebody locally and, charged, I don't know, £150 a session. But actually, do you know what? I've been there and I've done that and I've got the T-shirt, and this was my time to say, no, come on, let's step up. And what that's done for me is it's not only given me the confidence to increase my fees and to actually believe that I'm worth what I'm putting out there. That I totally value what I do. My clients totally value what I do, because their dreams are priceless, and you can't put a figure on that, and it's also opened up a massive community, and it's, I'm now in Christina's inner circle, and I get to connect with the people that she connects with. So I'm playing at a much higher level than I ever thought possible. So, Christina's helped me achieve my miracles too. And that's what a coach does for you.
Yes. I mean, I've said it probably 50 times on my podcast. I mean, even Tiger Woods, one of the best golfers in the world, has a coach. You have to have a coach. We sit here and we sit in our own heads. And I was actually using this analogy 2 days ago. We have this garbage bag that we carry around of all these amazing ideas and executions we want to fill off, but that we stuff them in our bag, our garbage, but they just get stuffed in there and we just never go and sort it out. And even though we have the ability, but maybe we don't have the complete ability, and having a coach helps you pull that garbage bag out, all these amazing ideas, and organize them and make them into a plan to move forward. Because that bag, you can probably see this visualization in your own head. Like, I got this huge bag I'm carrying around. We all do. And having that coach kind of helps you organize that and helps you point out certain things, right? I think.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I'm not a coach. Everybody somehow thinks I'm a coach. I'm not a coach. Yes, I've done motivational speaking for most of my life. I've done over 3,000 performances, but I am not a coach. I'm not in any way a coach, but I relate to them. I talk to them. I've interviewed over 100 of them, so I know how they talk and walk the talk. So this is exciting. I can see it in your attitude here today that you're powerful. You're very powerful, and you're going to make some great things happen for people out there. I am confident of that. And I am so looking forward to seeing that future happen. So speaking of that, I want to go back onto a little more of helping people kind of go from small to big thinking. Tell me more about how you went about executing big instead of small.
Okay, so the first step on my journey was to hire a powerful coach, which I'd never done before. I'd had coaches before, and I kind of working with them, and I'm thinking, yeah, they're not telling me anything different than I know.
Right.
It was to really push myself and really step into something different, and to feel scared when I got on with my calls with Christina, and just decide to make it happen. It's really interesting you're talking about that bag analogy, because, we carry around this bag of stuff, and it's really heavy and it really weighs us down. And actually stepping into your power is about releasing that bag and taking the weight out and letting go of the stuff that's heavy, that weighs you down, so that it liberates you to say, yes, I can do it. And actually, I look at Christina now, and some of the feedback, we did a feedback thing the other day, and I said to her, I'm so grateful that she came into my life at this time, because I look at her and I say, do you know what? If she can do it, so can I, and I'm no different than I was 10 years ago when I was coaching, but I feel so much more powerful. And the clients I now attract are completely different as a result of that, because I walk into a room and I shine, and people say, I want some of that. I want some of that energy. I want some of that in my life, So, yeah.
No, that's good. That's a very good point. I want some of that energy. I want it in my life. I mean, it's just, success is all around us, and sometimes we just hide from it. I mean, you can walk down a street in a city and there's about 100 buildings you'll walk by in about 5 minutes, and they're owned by somebody else, and they're not like $50 buildings. They're $50 million buildings. And so there's a multitude of success. And here in San Diego, we, $1 million houses are in the 100,000s probably. There's just not there's not 100, there's not 10,000, there's not 20,000, there's 100,000 of them. And so success is very possible, and it's in our own head, and it's going from thinking small to thinking big. And that's all it is. And if you can get a coach, what value can you put on a coach like Kerry, like Christine, that can take your mind and convert it to that thinking, right? What's that value worth? What is that worth? And I liked how you were talking about something before is like, is you started thinking like, I've heard this before, right? We all do it. I do it, because you take somebody on, you're nervous about spending that money, but oh no, man, they're just telling me something I already know. They're telling me something I already know. How did you get yourself to get rid of that belief and just kind of trust in Christine? And I say that because this is something that might come up with a client of your own, right? What took you to that level to get past that? I'm going to say it over bullshit in your head to go and believe. And then once you start believing, and then you allowing Christina to take control of your mind and take control of, that sounds kind of crazy, but take over your, take over your belief structure, I guess is a better word. Right. And help you kind of move forward, because that's essentially what you're going to be doing, right? As a coach. So there's a release that has to happen there. That's like everything right there. That's everything for somebody to do. Once they trust you, Kerry, it's home free, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm a great Tony Robbins fan too. And, he says change can happen in a heartbeat. You just have to decide and you have to step up. So what I do with my clients is I come out the kind of prosperous coach mindset. So I offer my clients a complimentary coaching session, which often is up to 2 hours. Okay, because I need them to know that they can work with me. In that coaching session, I show up in the most powerful way. I don't hold anything back just because I'm not charging them. And I give them the truth. I take away the BS. There is nothing fluffy about what I do. And I show up for them and I help them see their potential and their power, and that their dreams are absolutely possible. During that session, I quite often get them to kind of really go into themselves and really feel what living their dream would look like. What does it feel like in their body? What does it, how do they connect with it emotionally and physically, and really get that sense of purpose? And when people get that and they realize that anything is possible, it's not necessarily about them having belief in me as their coach. I'm there to just challenge them and ask them those extra questions that they don't ask themselves. The trick is to get them to believe that they have the power within themselves, because we all are very, very powerful creatures. We all have this amazing potential, and we're using such a small part of our potential. So I would switch it around and say, it's not about them investing in me. It's about them believing in themselves and investing in themselves, and that their dreams are priceless.
Yes. So it's kind of like you're a miracle coach and a self-investment belief coach.
I like that, a miracle coach. I've never called myself that before, but I like it. I do miracles.
I see a new branding line coming up soon.
Well, my kind of strap line is, at the moment, I kind of am using my Facebook group is making life count. And that's what I kind of use all the time, because that's what it's about for me. It's about helping people make their life count.
Yep. It certainly is. And, we were kind of talking about this before the show started, and to say you're a miracle, I mean, that's my saying to you, and you're now more believing in it, which I want you to continue to believe in it. But saying words like miracle, or saying anything about yourself, it's very important for people to say I'm very confidently and very strong and very very crystal clear to themselves, because you're talking to yourself essentially. Most of the time, and coaches probably reveal this all the time, is you're constantly you're talking to somebody else, but you're really talking to yourself. Right?
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just so funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you talk a lot, and then you start talking a lot.
And, and it's true. We attract clients that are very similar to us, and, you find yourself saying, oh yeah, I really should take my advice here.
Yeah.
And step into it. And, and for me, we were talking about earlier about investing and stepping up and investing something that's really scary for me. Well, I can't expect other people to invest in me if I'm not investing in a coach to move forward, because, we all have stuff that comes up, life happens, and we all have limitations and fears and limiting beliefs that hold us back. And, we reach a ceiling, and then we need pushing beyond that ceiling. So we reach the next one, and we keep going and we keep growing. Life is a journey. We never, ever get this right all of the time. And it's never complete. We keep learning and we keep growing. And that's fantastic.
It is. It is. Well, guess what? Your 20 minutes is already up.
Oh, wow.
And I told you it'd go fast, wouldn't it? And we just talked about investment. And I guess we want people to invest in 5 Minute Bark. And we want people to invest in Kerry. What would you say to people right now that were watching this interview here today, and we're getting interest, and why would they invest in you? So tell them about why right now. Maybe if they want to reach out, send you a personal video, they want to send you a personal heartfelt email, please share.
Yeah. Okay. So, all I'd say to you is I want to connect with people who are passionate about life. I want to connect with people who no longer want to settle, no longer want to play small, and who want to take their life by the balls and kind of go, let's do this, let's step up and let's be really powerful in who we are. So if that's you, step up, send me a video, message me on Facebook, message me on LinkedIn, send me an email. I would love to connect with you and see if I'm the right coach for you. There are many, many coaches out there, and I'm not going to be the right person for everyone, and that's fine, because, there's business out there for everyone. But if you like what I say, if you like my passion about life and you want to live fully, then reach out and connect with me. I would love to talk to you and offer you a complimentary session, and let's see where we go from there. There's no agenda on my part other than helping you step forward and move forward.
I'm going to add to that, if you don't mind. All right. Since I've only known you for 25 minutes, but I will say this about everybody: not everybody will take the time to send an email, and enact things to change their life. Not everybody will have their own coach. So I think she's, even before even talking to her today, her actions go along with what she does. So there's no fluff here. She did it. This is why she is on my show here today. She's an action taker. I know personally that is not something easy to do. I tried to introduce myself to as many coaches as I possibly can out there, and people out there in business, and I would send them personal videos as well. I've done a lot of that myself, and it's not easy to sit there and record about something about yourself. And again, you just didn't record like 2 minutes. You recorded 15 minutes of you, and that's vulnerability. So if you're looking for a coach out there, there are many. There are a lot of amazing coaches out there. But today, right now, she has the spotlight. She earned this visit here today with you guys. So feel free to reach out to her. And at least, you know what? At the least, commend her for what she did. I believe that's worthwhile as well. So how can they reach you?
Okay, so they could go onto my website, which is www.kerrycoombs.com. They can reach out to me on Facebook, and it's Kerry Coombs, and Coombs is spelled Coombs, no E. Or I've got a Facebook group called Making Life Count, so they could send me a request on that one as well, or contact me on LinkedIn. So I'd love to connect. And can I just add as well, I think for me, this time round, stepping back into my coaching practice after a 4-year break, is that it's so important to be fully authentic to who you are, and to feel really passionate about what's going on deep inside you. And that's what I'm about now. This is about me listening to that intuition and saying, is this who I want to be? Then yes, come on, let's step up.
Kerry, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been great. And listeners of the 5 Minute, yeah, it's been awesome. And you, the listeners of the 5 Minute Bark, thank you for listening this long, 24 minutes and 44 seconds. Again, the words for today are big, bold, fearless. Think big, not think small. And I think there's some pretty powerful words to think about here today. So thank you. And thank everybody out there. This is the 5 Minute Bark podcast from San Diego and England. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You're watching the 5 Minute Bark podcast on YouTube. If you like this episode, you just may like many more. Subscribe today by clicking the red subscribe button in the top right-hand corner.